Today we're going to talk about how we got into the world of board games.
The world?
It's a world.
Well, that's your fault.
No. Well,
yeah.
Yes and no.
No.
What happened first?
Well, us.
So we met.
And we met
10 years ago.
Yeah.
And
I had an interest in games, but I had not played any modern games.
And I introduced Peter to Ticket to Ride.
Yeah. And now we have a game shop.
But in between there, we had Ticket to Ride, and then one day Peter was off at work and I got this emergency phone call.
I was at the airport.
I've invented a game.
I was at the airport.
And he'd scrawled down this super bad image
because I can't draw.
of a board.
I can't draw. So.
And it was going to be called Gates and Lounges.
Because I came up with it in an airport lounge. And
waiting to go through the gate.
And it was themed around air travel.
Because that's what you did.
And getting frequent flyer points.
Yes.
And because that's what I did.
So we proceeded to...
remotely. I was living in Melbourne, Sue was living in South Australia.
Yes. So we proceeded to attempt to work this up. So he gave me his sketch, if we can call it that, and I produced images and went, is this what you mean?
And the basic mechanic, it was a roll and move.
Yeah, which was very basic.
Yes.
And we know that now because we've learnt a lot more mechanics along the way. But we did have some trading between players going on. We owned an airline as well as travel.
There was 4 airlines. It was for 2 to 4 players. There were 4 airlines. You each managed an airline. Should we be giving this away here?
We're not. Yeah, okay. We're not.
You each managed an airline, and there was 160 destinations on a world map, and they were all airports.
And we accurately mapped these and used the proper airport codes for each one, and
the longitude and latitude
for each one was all written on the cards. We produced all the cards.
Yep.
It was a lot of work we put into that thing, and we did.
We were energised about it.
We did play test it with. When I moved here, you got divorced.
No, I was separated.
You got separated.
I was separated.
So we were
That's why I
both
was living in the
separated
flat.
from our partners, and you moved into a flat in Carnegie.
Yep.
And then I moved over to Melbourne.
And you moved into that flat with me.
One bedroom flat
with a kitchen the size of this table.
I think that's giving it a bit too much. I don't think the kitchen was the size of this table. It was really small. I thought he was kidding when he said that the kitchen there was only enough room for one.
Yeah.
There really was. Anyway.
So we
did play test it with our neighbours.
But that was an earlier version.
Yes, that was a good version, I think. And then we ballsed it up.
It had many iterations. None of them good.
The board pretty much looked the same, but we tried to change cards. I made money.
We had money printed.
Money.
We had money printed.
We met with a printer out in the middle of nowhere somewhere.
Churchill.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
it felt like it was out in the middle of nowhere.
Out in the east of Melbourne country. It's a satellite city.
He produced our sample stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But then we soon realised that it was too basic.
The effort to get a board game from scratch to market is incredible. And we looked at Kickstarter, but we really didn't know how to...
Yeah, we did try putting it on Kickstarter.
...manage a Kickstarter campaign.
We had no idea.
Yeah, we had no clue.
And so then we kind of thought, maybe we should... No, you got money after your divorce.
After my financial settlement, I had some cash, and I thought, okay, we can do some things with this. I was kind of over my career and wanted something new. Sue was jumping from little job to little job to little job.
None of them
were going to lead anywhere.
Making a lot of money.
And I have, through my life, always wanted to own a little shop somewhere, doing something. So I said, hey, why don't we open a game shop?
And I went, yeah, that's a great idea.
So we took that money and I found an existing group of shops
Franchise.
that purported to be a franchise. It was a kind of a franchise, but it was just a naming franchise. So we went to them, we met with them, we decided to join with them. There was a fee for joining with them, which was fine, all expected, but they helped us get contracts with all the suppliers. They knew all the suppliers around Australia. And
They
helped
did our
us.
first orders.
They did our
for us
first
with
orders.
Each of the
We found the
suppliers.
shop, we fitted it out, we carpeted it, we painted it, we did all the retail stuff you need.
We found a point of sale system, and all that stuff.
And what we were going to do, and then stock started arriving. And we had this shop, tiny little 80 square metres shop, with only really about 60 square metres of retail space.
Yeah.
And we started trading. Little did we know, two serious things happened. First one was that we weren't kind of doing the revenue that we were led to believe we could do.
Yes.
And we kind of went, okay, it's our first year and people don't know we're here.
And we thought, well, there's a Christmas coming up, so
Christmas
it'll be
coming up.
fine.
And one thing led to another, and I went, it's not really going that well. And the way it's going, we're not going to be able to afford to pay our fee for having the naming rights. So we made a decision to leave that brand and rebrand as another brand, so we would avoid paying the franchise fee.
Yep. And
which was in the deal anyway. It was a handshake agreement.
It was a handshake agreement, and they always said, if you want to leave, just change the name and
so
done. So we did that.
We did that. We rebranded as Gas Games. And Christmas was not that good.
No.
Because the second problem was, I alluded to there being two serious problems. The second problem was that the location we chose in a little township was not ideal. Because there was Main Street and there was John Street. And no one would turn the corner. It was only 25 metres that we were, but people just didn't come around the corner.
We had a little bit of foot traffic to start with because the Woolworths
Yes.
around there was still open.
And the major supermarket, which was 50 metres away from us, closed.
Yes, that was another.
In our second year.
Yeah, that was bad. That meant foot traffic
dropped off completely. So we struggled. I was still working in my other career, keeping it afloat. We were taking out little business loans as we went through, trying to keep it going. We fought and fought and fought and fought to keep it going. At one stage, we had to send some stock back to one of the suppliers because we just couldn't pay them, and they agreed to do that, which was fantastic.
We ended up asking for help. We had a Save Our Shop sale.
Yeah, and people came in and did that, but then COVID hit.
COVID hit.
It's just one knock after another after another.
And when we were considering coming back, we were looking at a smaller shop and going, maybe we'll just downsize.
During COVID, our lease was about to run out, and we opted to do a 6-month extension because of the uncertainty of what COVID, how long it was going to run. And just before that 6-month extension, we looked at a couple of other locations, thinking, we'll scale down, we'll go smaller. And then we thankfully didn't do that. We toughed out another 4 or 5 months. Then we spotted another location, 100 metres from where we were.
I immediately thought, we can't afford this, it's too big.
I thought, I got to find out.
Yeah.
So I called the agent, got a message, and it turned out it was an agent landlord. They were handling it all themselves. It was a family, and
they were great.
They were great. They welcomed us in. They bent over backwards to help us get set up.
They were very excited to have a game shop in their arcade.
The small community of people that we built up through our smaller store. We'll have to go back a step and talk about PackX, but we'll get there.
Oh, yes.
Through our smaller store, volunteered to help us move. We moved in one day, and we didn't lose any trading time.
Any trading days.
Which was fantastic. And we moved to this location with better foot traffic, bigger location, play space.
Heating and cooling.
Heating and cooling. We used to sit in the back of the old shop wrapped in electric blankets.
Because it was freezing.
Because it was freezing. It was horrible. And on hot days we would just sweat.
That was just uncomfortable.
So we've jumped around a little bit, but just before COVID hit, in fact, the weekend of Melbourne going into lockdown on the Monday, the Saturday just prior to that, we ran an event that we had planned for a good 6 to 8 months in the local area, gaming convention. First ever thing we'd done, first ever thing for the area.
Called PACX.
Called PACX. It was
a mini convention.
A mini convention.
Or expo.
We got 250 people through. We had volunteers helping us.
Yeah, we had people teaching people how to play board games.
Yep.
We had people showcasing tabletop games.
We had local traders who did 3D printing of dice towers and had their own dice.
We had someone who made dice bags.
Dice
artists.
bags and
We
dice
had a
trays.
little cosplay thing.
Yeah, 3 people turned up. They all got a prize.
We did a live stream of a
D&D campaign, The Lost Cause. That was the name of that D&D campaign.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah. All in all, it was a great day. It went really well. Unfortunately, it was only one-off because COVID hit and then lockdown was...
Yeah, and we'd received a grant to run another event.
Yeah, and we couldn't. And we kept pushing it back because lockdowns prevented us from actually having...
that many people in one place.
In one place. So eventually the community group that we had created collapsed.
Don't ever form a committee.
Don't ever form a committee to get things done.
That's the way you don't get things done.
So
we want to do that again, but it will be a Gas Games event.
Yes.
At some point.
Yes. We're either going to attend a bigger event as Gas Games.
I like PAX.
E.g. PAX or Supernova or something. Or we're going to run another local community event as Gas Games, funding it and seeking volunteers to assist us run it.
Yeah.
But that's another story.
So that's how we got into board games. And then, well, through the shop, we've met so many great people.
I have now stopped working in my previous career. The shop is almost...
It's almost funding our lifestyle.
Providing us with a lifestyle, but not quite. Things have turned down a little bit due to inflation and...
Yes, and the bank putting up interest rates
and all
the
that.
time.
Yes, the Reserve Bank making it difficult for people to have disposable income. So we're the sort of business that struggles when that happens. But we'll tough it out. We'll keep pushing. If I have to go back and do more work, I will. That's just the nature of the beast. But now we're at a crossroad again. Our lease is about to expire.
We would like a bigger space now because we've grown. We never had much of a play space in our old shop, and now we have one, and it's being used, and we're running out of space to house everyone that turns up for games. And we would like to offer more games. We would like to do something for the board gaming community in particular, which we are big fans of ourselves.
Yes, we play board games regularly, weekends, Saturdays mainly, Saturday nights, the occasional Sunday like
We've
today.
Got about 6 groups that we play board games with on a semi-regular basis.
We've met a lot of people. We have a Discord server that has around 350 members now. There's probably only about 100 that are really active. The rest have just joined and watch. I don't know, they don't contribute, so it's hard to say. But in the store we're running card events from Magic the Gathering and Yu-Gi-Oh! And Flesh and Blood, and we did do Pokemon. We tried to get Digimon up and running, but there doesn't seem to be anybody locally that plays Digimon. We run Warhammer events, which thankfully we have a community member that runs that for us and keeps them all in line.
Yeah, he does a great job.
Through the Discord. So
Thank you, Tim.
Thank you, Tim. And we have a Blood Bowl League.
That's awesome.
Which is
organised to another great...
Yes, another friend of the shop, Lucas, keeps that going for us. And and we also have Star Wars Legion,
Yes.
and the occasional D&D group come through the store.
Well, we haven't had one for a little while, though.
But on that, we get a lot of
Yes.
people coming in the store saying, do you run D&D? And well,
That's
we
not,
have a community that some people play D&D.
but that's not how D&D works.
We don't run D&D. We have put it back on the community, create your groups.
You're welcome to come and play at the shop if you
Come
don't
and play
want
at
to
the
meet
shop.
at someone's
You don't have
house.
to. If you're just meeting through the community and you're going to other people's homes, that's all fine. The resource of the Discord and the
we
Facebook
just
group.
want people to play more games.
Yeah.
And meet socially through this hobby. And we're trying to create a community.
Well, we have.
Well, we have, but
have.
we want to grow that community.
We want to keep
like-
growing. Yeah. I've got a question for you.
Oh, okay.
What's your most memorable moment in the 5 years now
5 years.
of shop? We're in our 5th year.
Okay.
I can think of one.
Okay.
Recently, not that long ago, 3 months, 4 months ago, a member of a primary school
Oh,
came to
that
us
was good.
and asked if we could donate something towards
Their raffle or...
their trivia night.
Yeah, that's right. Their
It was
trivia
their
night.
trivia night. We kind of, well, trivia is a bit more up our alley. So yes, we get approached a lot to donate things, but sometimes it doesn't fit. So we don't. We have donated before, but mainly gift cards. This time we kind of went, well, let's make up a hamper of goodies.
It had a bit of everything.
Had a
really.
board game, it had a roll and ride, it had some dice, it had...
We put quite a lot...
it was about $350 worth retail
Yeah.
of product. Anyway, apart from doing that,
And we had so much fun doing it.
we had a great time. It felt really good to do that and put that together. And she came and picked it up and took it away. And then it was only the other day she dropped in, the teacher or principal from the school, and gave us
Gave us a certificate.
of appreciation.
And apparently our gift was
First prize.
in the trivia night, so that was great.
So that's nice.
We've always wanted to run the trivia night.
Yeah, we have.
We've never
Yeah.
got that up and running.
We did have a chat to a local
Bar,
bar about running a trivia night, but it never got off the ground.
no. It's a long-winded version of how we got into board games.
It all started with me learning Ticket to Ride.
And I had learnt Ticket to Ride from a friend quite some time ago with my children, and I loved it too. And I bought the anniversary edition of
Yes,
USA as a
it's-
result.
It's up there.
But I also learnt, he taught us Blood Bowl that night, which my kids liked, but I wasn't a big fan.
Oh, you learned Blood Bowl?
Yes.
Oh,
he
wow.
Did Blood Bowl.
Right.
And Carcassonne, I think, was the other
Okay.
one.
Yeah, Carcassone's another good one, which
Yeah.
we got wrong on our stream.
Oh, we get a lot of things wrong.
Yes.
But even if you get it wrong, you can still have fun.
Yeah.
So through the shop, we have met a lot of people that we now call friends, and we play games on a regular basis.
Yes. With a lot.
Most Saturday nights, some Sundays, when there's a public holiday. Any opportunity we can get to play some games.
And different groups have different flavours of games that we
Yep.
play, and a lot of them are sourcing games from other areas, not just from our shop.
Yes, there's-
So we're learning new games that have come from Kickstarter and other locations,
Yep.
and games that we've not been able to get.
Yes.
A couple.
Davin has taught us a few of those.
Yes. Susan Delaney introduced us to Dominion, which is very good.
Yes. I had played Dominion with my son because he loves it.
Yes. We introduced Susan Delaney to Concordia, which is one of our faves,
Yes.
and we smashed out a game of that the other week in record time.
Yes, it
and the
was really
score
good.
was within like 6 points for all four of us.
It was great.
Yeah.
Love it when that
That was a lot
happens.
of
It
fun.
doesn't happen very often because they're very good players.
And we've played some legacy games, and we love roll and rights.
We do. We're
We
a bit
love
of
the
a
roll and
write
rights.
bent.
Fleet, Three Sisters, Crisscross,
That's pretty clever.
Splitter. That's pretty clever. That's clever twice. That's
Twice as clever, and then clever cubed.
Clever Cubed. It's good. And there's another one coming.
another
And there's
one.
another one from the Fleet Three Sisters people coming.
I can't wait to see what that is.
So there's a number of groups that we play with, and we're really thankful to have them as friends now. And we've only come about through the shop.
Yeah. We would probably never have met them otherwise.
Yeah. Without the shop, we would not have these friends.
And I don't really know I don't know anyone else in Melbourne apart from you.
Jess, you didn't meet through the shop. Jess,
no, I met her at the gym.
Yes.
But that was about the same time we opened the shop.
Yeah.
Because she helped us.
It helped us move our first piece of furniture into the store. Yes. We digress. Yeah, so we're very thankful for the shop. It's been a battle. It's still a battle. But the most rewarding thing is making so many friends.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
So,
learning new games.
what we've done tonight is a bit of an insight into what we're going to do in the future. We're going to maybe take you into the store,
That would be good.
have a look at what happens on delivery day.
We do love delivery days.
We won't show you customers
Unless they want to be
unless they want to be shown, but that's
in video.
for later on. We might show some event nights. We'll show.
Yeah, we can do that.
We can do an event night.
We take photos of them all the time.
Yes, we'll do a bit of video about that. We'll interview some players. That'll be a bit of fun.
Either way, you're going to follow our journey.
Yeah, we'll bring you more of that. So until then,
Play more games.
bye.
Bye.